So back to what we are saying, we also learned that there is table caption. Table caption just gives your table a caption, whatever it is you want to name your table. That is what you'd write in your table caption. Then there is the table border that just demarcates it for you. There is the height. There is also the cell spacing that gives space to your cells, and then the cell padding that gives it gives space to the inside of the cell. Then there is the col span and the row span. The col span, it tells the cell how many columns span, while the row span tells us how many rows. But yes, a very simple table to refresh our memory on what we've already done. So first off, we're going to create a file. I hope you all know how to create a file. You have to name your file and add the .html. So we'll be naming ours index file.html. So type our HTML. So we'll write our table tag. Open it and add. First off, we want to do a very simple meal plan just for dinner. First, write our caption. So we're going to name it a meal plan for dinner. Then we'll create our table row. So inside this table row, to the house header, and we'll name these days. Do another one for the dishes, or rather, let's name it meals. Then the last one we'll do for drinks. Sorry, we'll have to do table header first, then drinks. So now we'll come and create a table row for our table data. So we'll do table data, and the first thing there is day. So I'm going to write Sunday. Then the next one, write a meal for Sunday. Let's say fried rice. Other one would be for drinks. So name it juice. Now I'm going to do this again. So this one is going to be Monday. And then the food for Monday would be, let's say, spaghetti. Then the drinks would be, let's just say water. Then create the last one. So in Tuesday, create this. jollof rice. Then the drink will be pineapple juice. So let's just copy this and paste for a week. So remaining one more or two more. So yeah, this will be the last one. So edit this to Wednesday and give these fries. So let's just give this orange juice. So this will be Thursday and give this, let's say, beans, and then this will be water. Give the last one. Okay, I did two Tuesday. So we'll give this Friday. Give this another rice. Then with smoothie. I'll come here and take this off and paste it. I give this Saturday. Let's see. Then the drink would be another water. Yeah, this is your simple table. So now let's see this on the browser. We already know how to use Lifesaver, Lifesaver, and everything that we saw on the slide. So now we'll give this table and a height 100 pixel. So let's see border 2. Okay. So we're going to give it a let's come to this caption. Let's start and see what is now there. So let's give table a cell spacing. of 5 and a cell padding of 10. So this is it. So let's come here and just do co-span of 2. So it already took column of 2. So we're going to remove this because this is not what we want it to look like. I just wanted you to see how to put a co-span. So now let's move over to the next thing, length. So next thing we learned was CSS basics. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. It creates a website. So it's what gives your website color, it gives your website styles. You can add styles, you can add anything you want to your website using CSS. So there is the inline CSS, there is the internal CSS, and the external CSS. So this CSS now uses selectors, and this selectors tell CSS which elements to style. There is the element selector, there is the class selector, and there is the ID selector. So now let's go back to our VS Code and style our table a little. So want to give this caption a style. Let's give it a color of red. So let's see that on our browser. So we can see that this took the color of red. So another thing we would want to do is give this table row a color. So I'm going to style this and give it the background color of, let's see, let's give it the background color of pale violet red. Let's see how that is on our browser. Okay, then we can also give it a color of, let's say, white. This is an inline type of styling. So now let's go and do an internal type of styling. Sorry, I'm going to type style in your head of your HTML. So what do you want to style? We want to style the remaining TR. So we want to style this TR, the remaining one, so that it should have a different color. But first, we would have to give this a class. No, we all learned what a class is. So we'll just give this a class. We'll name this TR and come here and do dot TR and just give it a background color of pink. So we'd copy this class and paste it in the remaining table row. So they would all have the same color. Let's go back to our browser and see. So we can see that it has taken the color of TR we styled. Let's move on to the next thing we learned. So we learned some different CSS properties. We learned colors. I've just styled a HTML file using colors. Then we learned font family, the font weight, how to style with width and height. We also learned how to use font size, text decoration, paddings, and margins. So let's just do one. We're going to make this our caption, a font family. So we'll come over here and give it a font family or the first thing here. So let's see it on our browser. You can see that it has a different style, sorry, family from the rest. So we're going to give it a padding of 10 pixels. So we can see that it gave it an internal spacing. So let's move on to the next thing we learned. So we learned how to create HTML image galleries. So what is an image gallery? Yeah, this is a picture gallery that shows image in a nice organized way. Can be created using HTML table. So the HTML table can be created using an image tag. So if you want to create a picture gallery, now you'd have to use your image tag to add your pictures to your web pages. So this is just an example of a picture gallery. So you have to first of all write your image tag syntax. You write your source, you add your picture to the source, then an alternate. This means ALT is just alternative in case the browser is not able to see this your picture. It will just write out these cute cards that you're going to put in your alternative. Then you can give your image a width and a height. So we also did a practical on how to do an image gallery. So you have to put your table tag first, then you do your table row, then you can add the images you want. You close your table row, then you close your table tag. So the next thing we learned was website layout and navigation. So a layout organizes the different parts of your website. So it just gives your website a very nice and detailed structure. So your web page will be looking structured on your HTML part. Then there are different types of tags used for this layout. It has the header tag, there is the nav tag, there is the main tag section, and the footer tags. So we just go to our VS Code and just do a very simple thing using this layout that we learned now. So first we're going to use a break tag. I know we know what a break tag does. So the first thing is a header tag. This header tag now, I would have my H1 and give it the name I want to give my website. So let's say it's Food Hut. Then this it also have the nav tag. This nav tag will have some navigation bars inside like links. So we're going to create it using the unordered list tag. So there is the list tag inside and then the anchor tag. So we'll come here and write an about first. You're going to copy this and paste it into 3 times. So now we'll change this to contact and change this to cart. So we'd have to go and create HTML files for this. So we'll be able to link them. So first we'll create an about.html file. Then create the second one, which is contact.html. Then we create the last one, which is cards.html. So now we'll go back to our index file and link them. There is the about here, the contact here, and the cards here. So after this, we're going to do our main. So this main is going to have section inside it, and the section will contain H3 that would have a text saying our dishes, saying offer the best meals in town. So we just want to do a very simple site. So we're going to copy this and paste it in the main. So paste it again. Then finally we'll do our footer tag. So now this footer tag would have a simple text made by me 2025. Then all right reserved. So now let's go over to our browser to see how this is. So this is how it is on the browser. So now let's style this using an external CSS way of styling. So we're going to come here and create a new file. I would call it style.css. Then come to our index.html file and link it using the link tag. Then you do style the CSS. So first off, what we want to do to this our page, we first style the body. I remove the excess margin using margin auto. Then we give it a background color of, let's use this color. So let's go back to our website and see how it is. So this is it. Let's continue with our styling. So the next thing we want to our header. So we're going to type header. So now this header with curly braces is an element kind of styling. So we're going to style this and give it a background color of let's say this. Let's see what else we want to style. Okay. The H1 under the header. Style the H3 too. And that's all. Sorry, my footer should be done. It should be after my table. So we're going to give this a break tag. Then we put our footer. To start the H1 and the H3. So give the H1 a color of, let's give it the same color with the background color of the body and see how that looks. Okay. Then we give the H3 same color with the header. So now let's see how that looks on the browser. Okay. So now this is how to lay out on your HTML. Use the header tag, use the main, and then we'll have the section. I would have your nav and everything. Then there is the footer. All in the last class we did. So moving on, we'll go back to what we learned. So the next thing we learned was CSS layout techniques. So CSS, as we all know, helps make our website beautiful. So there is the block display, there is the none, the inline, in block, and flex display. This block display, it's more like div elements because div elements take the full width of your web. This is just this block does when an element takes up the full width of your web page. Then there is the non-display. The non-display gives whatever you styled it, you will see on your web page. So if you give anything a display of none, you will not see that unless you've changed it. Then there is the inline. The inline doesn't take the full width of your web page, so it's more like your break tag. How you can just easily write your break tag beside beside a different tag. Then there is the inline block and the flex display. So we also learned that HTML elements can be either block or inline elements. So the next thing we learned was CSS Flex display. So CSS Flex displays an element as a block level flex container. So it gives the parent element a flex box layout, and it has the display property, the flex direction, flex wrap, justify content, and align items properties. So now we're going to go over to our VS Code and use this flex display. So we would want to give this flex display to our header. So we'll give it a display of flex. So let's see how that is on our browser. See, it has changed. So the next thing we are going to do is to give it justify content of space between, and then align items of center. So now go back again, and the next thing we want to do is remove those dots in our nav. So we're going to style the UL tag, write the UL and say, so we're going to give it a, okay, let's go back to our HTML. Okay, let's give it a list style type of none. So let's go back and see how it is on the browser. Then we would give, we're going to come and style the anchor tags to remove the text decoration. So give it none to, so we want to give this a border, one pixel solid. One pixel solid, let's see the color would add to that. So it will be the same color with our header. Then we'll give it a border radius of 10 pixel. Okay. Now we also want to give it a padding of, also want to give it a padding of 10 pixel. So now we want this to flex because we do not want it like that. So let's see. So we're going to tell the UL to display as flex. Then give it a gap of, let's see, let's give it 20 pixel and see. Okay, this is better. Then give it a padding bottom of 10 pixel. So we'll come here to change the color to the same color with H1. So now this is better, but we can't see my border. So let's see why we can't see the border. Let's give it this Bollywood color. Okay, so now this is better. So we'd also want when we hover on this, when we place our mouse on these anchor tags, to take a different styling. So what we are going to change is just the color and the background color. So we'll give this a background color of, this is the color is this, we'll give it the other color. Then give this a color of the Bollywood. So let's see how it is on the browser. Okay, I think I gave it the same thing. Okay, yeah, I gave it the same thing. So just change this so we'll see a difference. Okay, now this is better. So what else do we want to do here? I think this will do. So we'll just move on to the next thing we learned. So we learned how to align elements with CSS. So there is the text align that is used to align text. There is the margins that is used to align an element as we've seen. There is the display to align multiple items in a box. Then there is the position property. And this position property can be static, it can be relative, it can be absolute, fixed, or sticky. So I'm going to just do one of this position property on our VS Code. So we'll come to this, add a break tag, or we can add it here. Then use a div. This is we're going to give this a position of fix. I don't need to add a break tag. I just come and type in a div tag. Then I'll say add. So we'll go to our style and call the div. Then give this a border of 1 pixel solid. Since the background color is this Bollywood, we would give it a color of this. Then we'll give it padding of 10 pixel. Then a position of, then we'll say we want it to be at the down part of the site. So we'll say bottom 0 and at the right starting from 0. So now let's see our browser. So we can see that this div is fixed here. So now, moving on to the next thing we learned, we learned HTML forms. We learned that a form is like a magic box where users type answers and send them to a website. So there is the form syntax, it has a form action. I know that this form action basically submits this form. So when the user clicks the submit button inside the form, it would take it to whatever is inside this action. So there are different tags used to create a form. There is the label tag, there is the input tag, and the button tag. So I'm going to go back to our VS Code and just create a very simple form. So we'll do that in this cat.html. So do HTML, then you are going to first write a form tag, then create a div, and then inside this div would have our label tag, a label tag, and then what we'll do here is say email, then we'll come and do an input tag. So we'll copy this and paste this. So we do the same again. The break tag and add our input, sorry, input type. So now let's go back to what we've done. Okay, we have to edit this first. So let's just edit this to let's just leave it rather. See how it is and come back to it. So it's in cards. So you see everything is email and this, and we see if we click here it doesn't highlight this. So I know we learned why. So there are different types of input tag. There is the input type of syntax, and then this input type has the text type in this first syntax. So the other types of inputs are the email, the password, the checkbox, text area, and the number input field. Now, an input should have an ID that binds it with a label. So that is why when we clicked on that our label, it wasn't highlighting the input. So let's go over to our VS Code and correct that. So here we're going to do label for email because we want to give this input an ID of email. Email. Then this would be email. So this now would be for full name. So let's name it full name. And edit this to full name. Then you have an ID of phone name. So now we'll do this for password. And this will have input type of password, and the label would be displaying password. And then this would have an ID of password. So want the phone name to come first. So now we would also want this input type to be the submit type. So let's check. Okay, let's put let's create a div for number. So say number. So here we'll say age. So this input type will be the type for number, and to have an ID of number. So one thing we should make sure is that whatever we are putting in these four attributes in the label, it would be the same for the ID of the input. So now we'll move over to our browser and see how it is. So now we can see that once we click on the label, it highlights this input tag, and then can put anything you want to put here. So let's put this Ben what you put here, then put an email. Let's see, Benny at gmail.com. Put any password, then age. Let's see. So that the age is even giving us a -3 and all. So once you click on submit, it submits. And this is not what we want for our form. But then let's go back to what we are taught and know why. So this brings us to form validation that we learned. So what is form validation? Form validation checks if the data the user typed is correct before submitting. So it will check whatever you've inputted into your input tag, whatever you typed in your input tag, it checks it, make sure that it's correct, make sure that it's what a developer, that the developer that created the site or the form is asking before it submits it for you. So there are the different attributes. There is the required attribute, the placeholder, the minimum and maximum number attributes. So now we're going to go and fix our form on our VS Code. So we'll come to this input type and give it required. So someone needs an empty form. Give the required required but would give this minimum. So first we want this age for for a particular number of, for a particular age, like from let's say 6 to 12, would have to submit this form with 6 to 12-year-old that we want to fill out this form. So we'd come here and do six, since it's 6 to 12. Then maximum of 12. So now we'd go over here and first see if we can submit without filling it. So now we come and type in Ben Wachuku. It already gave us a different email. So let's just use Benny at gmail.com. Then we'll put in any password. And then here we can, let's say we click 5. So it says 5 must be greater than or equal to 6. So we have to click, let's click above, we say 8. So it has submitted. So this is how to your phone. So moving on to the next thing we learned. Okay, this is just an image of a form. As the first name, this is the label tag, then the input tag and all. It has the first name and an input for the first name. Has the last name, input for the last name. There's also the radio. I know we also use this. Then the employee ID. This is just number, designation, phone number, then input tag of submit. The next thing we learned was adding videos to websites. So videos make websites engaging. Videos can be hosted using HTML5 video tag or embedded from a site like YouTube, just like we learned. So the most common format is MP4. Videos can be styled using CSS. Then this is the syntax for a video tag. It will have the source, it will have controls, and then the closing of the video tag. So now we also learned web designs. We learned that web designs is basically how your websites look and work. We also learned that good designs build trust, and that the design process includes planning. You'd have to first of all whatever it is you want to design. Then you can make a sketch. You can just sketch it out on a paper. Then you now start building. Like you can start writing your code or building whatever it is. Then you test by giving your friends whatever it is that you've done to check it out for you. They'll give you feedback. Then you can now improve based on their feedbacks. Then there is core design principles. Core design principles that we learned are balance, contrast, emphasis, and unity. We also learned that white spaces help focus attention on content. So we learned some rules in web designs. First, we learned that there should be primary, secondary, and accent colors. We learned that we shouldn't use more than 2 to 3 fonts. We learned that the image would add to our web design should be of high quality, and our navigation bar should be kept simple. The design should be mobile friendly. Also learned that elements should be arranged according to importance. So that is all on the key takeaways we learned. So now, do we have any question? So do we have any question? We have questions, then maybe we can identify signify on the chat and then I would unmute you. Okay, since we don't have any questions, so we'll be going over to the next thing that we have for today. So, what we have for today is, let me share my screen so that you see it. So, what is introduction to website? So now let's dive right into it. So this is what we're going to learn. We're going to learn websites. Would learn introduction to WordPress. Would learn WordPress.com versus WordPress.org, that is org. Would learn, would explore WordPress and create a simple about me page. So this is that library, and then the books in the library are what books are without coding or with coding, as we learned. So there are examples of websites. There is a blog website and a portfolio web. So example of blog website, you can see that it has an image, it has a text here. This is just telling you about this here. There's a is like if you want to make a personal website, you have to tell about yourself, what you know, your skills, your education, just everything about you. See that in the nav there is the home. So this home is showing the person who is Chica here. Then it has the about you, his skills, his education, everything he learned, where he's schooled, his work experience, and his contact info. So now, what is WordPress? WordPress is a powerful tool that creates websites without coding. So we already know that we can create websites without coding. So now WordPress is a tool that you can use to create websites without coding. There are free templates that can be customized. So templates are just like let's say layout are free and already designed. So they're just there, whatever it is you want to create. Once you search for it, it brings out some templates for you. What you have to do is now to customize to your taste. It was created by Matt Mullenweg in 2003. So this is Matt Mullenweg in 2003. So there are two types. There is the WordPress.com and the WordPress.org. So what is WordPress.com? So WordPress.com is a hosted platform. It's a hosted platform. It has a free hosting service, free maintenance and security. It's good for beginners. It has limited customizations and is easy to use. So this WordPress.com is just basically like, let's say, a rented apartment. So where you go to this rented apartment now, you see that everything is furnished there. You see your television, You see your cushion, your seats, you see everything is furnished. So it has everything. What you just have to do there is just to sleep or chill. So that's what this WordPress.com is. So it has like a hosting service ready for you. It has maintenance and security for you. All you have to do is customize it, but then it has limited customization. So for you to access everything, you'd have to pay, and it's easy to use. So it's mostly beginner friendly. Then WordPress.org now, that is ORG, is a free software that you download and install. It is self-hosted. It is used by developers and advanced users. It has full access and it takes more setup. So now this WordPress.org is more like building your own house where you'd have to start putting the whole block, your foundation and everything. So it just means that you'd have to do the coding and everything yourself. You'd have to host it yourself, and then it's mostly used by developers. So it also has full access because you've downloaded it and you've installed it, so it has access. But the hosting you'd have to pay for it, and that is it. So now let's look at some things used. So first, hosting. So what is hosting? Hosting is a service of storing and managing websites files on a server and making it accessible on the internet. So we've been saying hosting, hosting, hosting. So this hosting just means that let's use that instance of the internet being a big library. So when a web developer now finish creating a website, or when someone writes a book, and so that is just hosting, like you're carrying it to put it there so it will be accessible on the internet. So now there is software. Software is a set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. So software could be your game that you download to play on your phone. So that is that. So now how to explore WordPress dashboard. So first we'd have to go to wordpress.com, then we'll sign up, choose a domain name and type a site title. So before we do that, let's know what is a domain name. So a domain name is your website address. Example is www.tinytoys.com. So domain name is more like, let's say, your address, your personal house address, your home address, wherever it is they can find you, or wherever it is they can see your website. Whatever someone have to type on the internet to see your website, that is just a domain name. Then what is a site title? A site title is the name of your website that people see at the top of your website. So it could be anything. You can give it anything. An example is Poppy World. So now let's this is an example of a WordPress homepage. So would have to go and sign in. You are going to click this and type wordpress.com. Okay, made a mistake. So we do press.com. So we click this login and click create an account. Now we continue with Google because we want to sign in with our Google account. My Google account is already here, but you can type it in. One at gmail.com. Okay, I'd have to let's try another way. Yeah, password appears. Let's try this way because I'm not with my phone here. Rather, let me just get my phone to be able to use this. So now, I'm sorry for that delay. So, do you have any questions if I go back? Let me see. Okay, you can use the restroom, Funke Yadina. Now let's go back to what we were doing before. So I'd have to click what they sent to me. So I've clicked it and it's creating. So finally, it has opened. So we already know what domain name is, so we'd have to create a domain name. And for this domain name, since we want it to be free, we are going to use a .wordpress.com at the end of our domain name. So now I want to create something simple. I would say my cool site is my domain name. Then I'll add .wordpress.com. So I would look for the one that is free and click it. This is one that is free, then I'll click it. So once I've clicked it, I'll click this continue. But first I want to ask Funke if she's back from the restroom. Let me stop sharing for now. Then so we get back from the restroom before I go further. Hello, can you hear me? All right, thank you. But Miss Funke doesn't want to respond. So I think I'll just go ahead. So now let's continue what we are doing right here. So now since I've selected this one, I'll go over here and click continue. There are different plans. As I said, so we'll skip this because doing today is dashboard. So skip. So now as we've seen, we'll go back to our slide to see the next thing we have. So yeah, so moving on to so this is it. This is the homepage we just saw now. So this is the dashboard, and the dashboard has the main navigation in it. Then there is the toolbar. This is the working area and the footer. So let's go back to our site and see it well. So this is the dashboard. This whole black place is the dashboard. Then the top place is the toolbar that you can use and do whatever it is you want to do. You can add your site title here. You can see comments. You can create a new post page or whatever, and then you can launch your site. All these are on the toolbar. So this is your working area. This is the place that you'd see your work. You'd see whatever it is you want to design. Then there is also the footer part of it. So now, so I've already said this. What a dashboard is. It houses things like different things there. So let's just explore the WordPress dashboard. Sorry. Okay, let's go back. So sorry, let it load fast. So this is where we're meant to do that. We're going to click here to edit our site. So once we click on this site, we'll see the different things here. We'll see. So okay, this is just a different. So I'm going to edit. So come here and type our site title. So we'll say awesome ads. So we'll come over here to click it to save it. So now we'll save it as updated. We'll go to view it. So now we are seeing the name of our site up on this toolbar, awesome ads. So now let's go back and explore the dashboard. So this is just your home. It's showing you your home page, everything that your home consists. So here you'd have to fill it up if you want to edit. If you want to give your site a name, you'd give your site a name. You select a design. You can do this later with time. Would know how to do all these. Edit our site name. We've already chosen a plan and our site. Rather still, yeah. Next is stats. So this statistics. It just shows how many people have viewed your website. It shows you your views, how many views you have on your site, your visitors, the clicks, the number of likes. If you have comments on the site, you see all these things here. Then as for your posts, you see just shows you posts everything that you've done, everything that you've created. You would see all of them here. If you've created new posts, this is what you're going to see here. Then you can add a post here. You can categorize your posts, that is to group them. Then you can also give your post tags. So now this is the media section where you can upload any media you want to put. You can import your media to. And there is the pages section where you see all your pages on your site. You'd also see the ad page. You want to create a new page now, you would come here to see that. Then comments is for whatever anybody said under your site. This is where you're going to come and see the comments. You'd see everything here. Then feedbacks is mostly if you added a form to your site, then you'd have to you'd see the response in this feedback. And there is Jetpack. Remember I said Jetpack is sorry, I said that WordPress.com has a free maintenance and security. So this Jetpack just gives your site security. It's in charge of securing your site, and it's inside this WordPress.com. But if it's WordPress.org, it would be a different thing where you'd have to be the one in charge of your security and your maintenance. So this WooCommerce now is just an it's like an online store where you have to buy or sell anything you want. You can also get some templates from this WooCommerce. Then appearance has different themes where you can change. We want a different themes are just like outfits you can give to your site. So you can give your site any look to be. Then there is the plugins. The plugins are just let's say now your game that you download and all. So that is just what a plugin is all about. Like, but this one is that you have to pay for it to be able to access them. Then users, yeah, you can add your users. It also shows you different users that are here. This is my account. You can add new users. You can see your profile. Then your tools. It shows you everything you're working with. If you want to monetize your site, you come here. In terms of your marketing, you see it here. If you want to import or export your media files, it's also here. Then your general settings are here too. So whatever I want to do, like now my site title is here. So I can choose a site icon if I want, so if I have, then I can put the site logo, site address. This is the domain name that we added, so this is just what it is. Then time zone is Lagos, the date is May 17, 2025. Then the time is 1:37 p.m. So the other settings you can check out and explore. Then this is collapse menu. If you just want to close this menu, then you'd click it. I do not want to close that, so I'm not going to click it for now. Then we'll move on to the next thing we want to do. So your activity, your WordPress adventure has just begun. So we're going to create a simple about me page together. So first, how to create an about me page? We go to pages. So let's go back to our WordPress. Go to our WordPress. Then this place that we see pages now, you click this add page. So as it's loading, we can go on to the next thing. The next thing is to click on add page, which we've already done. So let's see that. So we can see it says choose a pattern. So now this pattern is just like a template. So you could see different styles, different templates that you can use. So whatever it is that you like, you can just click on it and select it. So since we're going to create something very simple, let's just look for a simple template to click on. So now this is it. So we're going to add our page title, and it's an about me page. So type about me. So let's see. Okay, we've already chosen a pattern, but this is what we saw. Then we've already added a title. Now we're going to edit and style the page to our taste. And finally, we'll click on publish. So we're going to publish button. If we have pictures, we can upload them before we publish it. Then we would now see our about me page that is active. So we're going to do that now. So we're going to come here, click on this to edit it. So let's clean that off and write and type Ben Benny rather. Let's use the lady's name because so we're going to write Maria Maria Benson. So we can just clean this off and talk about Maria Benson. So now we're going to type. So first, say type to choose a block. You can type or you choose a block. So a block is just like, let's say like a your Lego brick game now that you use to stack up. You can stack them up and create whatever it is you want to create. You can create a house, a car, or anything using those bricks. So now this block is just the same thing where you can create whatever. So for now, we're going to be creating an about me page. So we can add text. We can also a block. Yeah, paragraph block. There are different kinds of blocks. So there is a paragraph block. There is the one for, let's see, because we click here, we'll see everything. So first, this is the heading block. This there's also a paragraph block. This is your heading block. So see the paragraph block. There is the list one, the code. So whatever it is you want, this is it. And then if you want a list, you can click on this and then it shows you a list. But we do not want that. So we'd go over to here and then this is your buttons. This is an undo button where you have to click to undo what you just did. So that's what we're going to do. So if we want to redo it, we click here and redo it. Takes it back to what we've already done. So we do not want that. So we're going to undo it. So this is your block inserter. You can add any block you want to add. So these are your kind of blocks that you have. Whatever you want to add, there's the code block where you can add code, like you display code snippet that respect your spacing and tab. So you can see, you can just type code like as if you're coding. You have to use the coding syntax and everything. So there is the quotes block. It shows, it gives quoted text visual emphasis. So it's more like where you're citing someone. That's just what a quote is. So we know the paragraph, the heading, the list. We saw patterns. So whatever it is you're looking for, like now that is an about, we can click this. We can see the different patterns, whatever it is we want here. We come over here to click it. If you want a banner, you'd go over here and click it. Then for your media, you'd have to upload your media, but there is none now. So we're going to just type Maria is a 10 years old girl. She loves, yes,
web address for the website for
What is
WordPress.
what?
I said,
I didn't
what
hear
is the
you.
web address for WordPress?
What's the name of the WordPress?
What's the name for the web address of the WordPress?
Okay. That is this WordPress.com. Com. Is that what you asked?
Yes, please.
So he said Maria is a 10 years old girl. She loves to play and read. She is the first child and only daughter. So if you want to style this, if you want to style this now, we can come over here. So first of all, this is the parents blog group. So blogs can be grouped either by group or columns. So this is the parent blog group. So you can click on it, just highlighting everything here. If you want it to be in column, you can also click on it. Sorry, what did you say?
Because you are the one that share it. You're still sharing your screen.
I can't really hear you, so if you can type it.
Ah, this is my project.
Hmm? Okay, I think I'll just mute you because I don't think you are talking to me. So I'll go back. So now we're going to style this. Can give this a different header. Can give this header 3, header 1, or heading 1 rather. You can align it to the center, align to the left. Then you can make it bold. We have to highlight it first, then make it to be bold. We want it to be in italics, but let's italize this one. Then we'd come over here and italize it. Then this is for link. In case you want to add links, just like this. So we're going to delete that. Sorry. Okay. So we just delete this. Then we're going to do, let's just add, first we have to click, first we have to add the block. So we want to add a link. So come over here to look for the link. Okay. Can just click here and can see a link here rather than that place and type TikTok. So just delete this color. You can do that. We're going to group change the style, to change the colors. Then if you want to add a picture, you have a picture you want to change, you can come over here and click replace. You upload it from your laptop. But I don't have a picture now. So we're already done with creating this page. So we're going to publish it. So now it says we should upload the image that is here already. So you click on upload and then publish. So now we've seen it, and we can copy this link and paste it anywhere. We can view the page. So if we copy the link, we can just paste it here. We can also see it here. Now that is all in creating an about me page. So now you're going to make your own about me page. You can go to WordPress, use any template of your choice, style and edit it to your own taste, and create your own about me page. So, high five and goodbye. Thank you for joining us. But let me check if there are any questions. Just have to stop sharing my screen. So, that's all for today, guys. So, if you have any questions, you can type it in the chat box. Let's see. Let me answer them. Can anyone hear me? So if you have any questions, just ask your questions before we end the class. So I said if you have any questions, you can ask, and then we'll be done with the class. Sorry, Mr. Roland, you said you couldn't hear me clearly.
Yeah, but I can now. I
All
don't
right.
have any.
Okay, thank you. So since there are no questions, I think we've come to the
Yes,
end
ma'am.
of this class.
Yes, ma'am.
So next one will be next week, Saturday.
Next week.
Yes, next week Saturday.
Okay. By this same 12.
Yes, would yes by the same tour.
Okay, ma.
Yes. Thank you for joining. See you all next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Have you people close?